the name.
I don't know. A book.
Okay, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our, what month is it? What is it? Are we?
July.
This is July. Yeah.
Our July buddy read. So we read Pretty Cruel Love by Whitney G, which I believe is her first, like, what is it? Romantic suspense, I think, right? Isn't that what we were talking about?
Yeah,
Yes, it's her
Yeah.
first like deep dive into the darker
Yeah.
romance. She has some things that touch on it, but this would be like the big one.
Yeah. So,
And I
okay.
think this is a little bit longer than a typical Whitney G book too.
I felt
Oh,
like
they're all pretty short like that?
There, I think so.
The wish I would have told you, wish the other one that's like that, those are a little bit longer too, I think.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say,
a
aren't
lot of
those
hers are shorter.
but not by
okay.
not by much. Oh, good. Awesome. Okay, so then I guess good segue, Sabrina. Let's go ahead and talk about our readings. Mandy, you're in my little site up next. You want to go first?
Sure. I rated it a 5. I loved it.
Awesome. Hi, Jan. Okay. Amber, do you want to go? I'm nervous.
I was kind of going back and forth on my rating. I was kind of between a 3.5 and a 4. Because of some issues that I had. So I think I'm going to stick with 3.5 and give it that for book.
Amber's not alone. I was wishy-washy between that 3.5 and a 4. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Okay.
I was like, I can't decide.
I got nervous when Mandy had a 5, and I'm like, oh no, I think I'm going to be the only one.
I was like, what did I miss? I'm looking through my notes. No, I gave it a 3.5. I almost did a 4, but it was like, because it was so short and there was some things that could have played out a little bit more, I stuck with the 3.5. Yeah. I'm like, she's a good author. I like the book, but yeah, so okay.
Yeah.
But
Sabrina loved it. Everything about it. Yeah, I love that.
That's good. I think I had a great premise. Like, I think I had a great premise and a lot of like potential. It just didn't fully hit for what I wanted. And then like how it wrapped up at the end was very rushed. And like, I felt like wasn't really as fleshed out as I wanted it to be. And I did notice, I usually don't nitpick, but I noticed like grammatical errors and then like weird stuff in like the sex scene where they would be about like, but they were like clothed and then all of a sudden he's going in her and I'm like, well, where did like, it just felt kind of weird, but I think it was really interesting. The first part, like first half had me really hooked, like I was really intrigued in it.
You should see my notes for it. Like I kept I was like, what is this? And what does this mean? And I was like making all types of assumptions. I have the craziest. I was like, she drank mimosas and 3 people are right there.
That was wild.
What? I mean, my notes are crazy. Yeah, that was. I was like, is she like a sociopath or does she not understand is there something wrong? Like, does she have some type of like a disability that she doesn't like compute? Like what's going on? I don't know. It was weird. It was funny though.
It kind of reminded me of that story. Her name just went out of my head where she got arrested overseas and then she was doing like cartwhells in the police, when she was getting arrested. And so it's like I was
that girl out of Seattle.
Yeah.
It
totally went out of my head. I can't believe it. But
Amanda Knox.
Yep. Yes. So I was like, okay, well maybe she's she's handling it in a weird way, but then I'm like making pancakes. Then you find out she went and had a shower and a bubble bath or something, and I was like, okay, that's going a little bit too far.
Like what happened? What the real thing was at the end, but still, it was like, okay. I mean, it all ties together at the end, which I really appreciated that. But it was still like in the moment, I was like, did I read that right? Like,
how did you feel about it being the doctor or whatever the whole time? Like him being involved. Were you surprised or is that like kind of obvious to you guys?
for me, I didn't get it until like towards the end. I was too hung up on like what her batshit crazy was. I don't know what she was. She was
Yeah.
crazy. I was like, what is going on? I couldn't. I was trying to figure out what was going on, and then it kind of led me to. I was like, there's something going on here. You know,
That's where I was at too. I felt like they had to have had some other connection, but I was really focused on the fact that, like, as all these things were brought up about her, like, we keep getting told that she didn't do it, but like,
Yeah.
I've read other books
Mhm.
where we're told that, and it
Right.
turns out the person's crazy. So,
Right.
Yeah.
so I'm like, did
Unreliable
she
author or character.
like disassociate from it, have like a split personality type situation? Or are we going to find out? Because like there was just too many things where, you know, she was seen in the garden with the knife, and then she took the
Yeah.
bath, and she made pancakes while she was trying to call 911. And I'm like, and they were her favorites. And so I was like, that's weird. And then I so I was just so focused on her that I wasn't really thinking about
Yeah.
him. But then I started to think like maybe there's something else going on here.
Right.
But the whole premise of him being able to take these patients, or not patients, but like prisoners, and turn them into his patients in this secluded cabin for 2 weeks, and to have this huge success rate, I was like, okay, well maybe like we just need to kind of suspend belief and go with that.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
that just all of that threw me off. But I love a good thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought I kind of didn't want it to be like him, like that whole ending thing, because I thought it would have been more complicated with how I wanted it to go. So that's part of the reason I was like, kind of like, oh, and then it was just so like, then it became so far fetched because like his success rate and what he's able to do. And then it was like 7 years of him doing this just to get her out or whatever. I don't know, just some stuff didn't like fully add up to me that like, I think if it was a little bit longer and more fleshed out, like it would have probably been like a better rated book for me. Like I just thought some stuff was kind of, you know, I get what she was doing though, because she's leading us looking over here at the heroine, like looking over here, what's going on, and then she does the surprise or whatever, the twist. And so I get that, but I don't know, it just kind of made it not as like interesting to me when it was like him, you know, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, like just the way I wanted it. But
Jan said that it was slow for no reason. She gave it a 1 star.
you guys, we still haven't gotten good rated book.
I love that she reads what we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
She gives it a try.
She doesn't go, oh no, not them again. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love a romantic suspense. I was the same way, Sabrina. Like, I was always a thriller, psychological thriller reader. And then I found romance, and I love to find when they both like
when they're together. Yeah.
That's what I used to read first, like before I came back to romance again, was I would read like Dean Koontz and like you know, all those like weird thrillers. When I was younger, I read a lot of James Patterson. So I like loved all like those types of thrillers. So I really liked that aspect of it. I thought it was a really good premise.
Yeah.
And I think it had a lot of like, I think she could have done more with it if it was just a little bit longer.
That's what I was saying. If it was a full length novel, I think we would have gotten so much more, because Whitney G, like, I know how she writes, you know, like, I mean, I've read so many books of hers, and she has really good, like, she writes really well, and everything comes together really well. And she did a really good job in 200 pages, but there was like things missing.
I think she deserves credit for not taking an easy way out and having it actually be her, and just being like, oh, well, she's batshit crazy. She really did do it. Like, I appreciated that there was a very different twist than what you might typically see. Vi Keeland is really good at that too, in her thrillers where you don't see what's happening. And I like that, where I'm just like, wait, no way, like at the end.
Wait, are we all in our 40s? Because here Amber and I are both like, what?
My phone is doing it super small on the screen. It's like different than it normally does.
Oh, I just
and I'm like,
enlarge it.
Yeah, I'm like trying to zoom in now because I'm like,
I just needed to enlarge it is all. If I enlarge it, that helps.
Yeah. I was like, oh, let me see. I can't read.
And I just
handcuffed
refused to
behind
put on my
her back
glasses
and walked.
because of the glare.
Jan
Yeah, that's
is
what
so
I thought, Jan, was there was a lot of inconsistencies with like the way the scenes played out, where it's like that's what I was kind of talking about with like the sex scene. And the sex was really abrupt, and like I get they have to be quick, but it was kind of like, oh, she was like clothed, he was clothed, then all of a sudden he's entering her, and and I'm like, wait, where did them taking the clothes off, doing other stuff? And you would kind of notice things where like, oh wait, she's this whole handcuff thing. So it like there was stuff that just kind of didn't make sense, which usually I won't nitpick about that. But like when I was noticing those things throughout the book, it was like kind of bugging
She was
me.
And those are
handcuffed
the
in
things
chains,
that,
though. So if it's chains and then he still has her put her hands behind her back and puts her in
Yeah.
the chains, she can step over those if he
Yeah. And
wanted her to,
I thought she had him
depending.
in the front, like the whole time, where they have it kind of like the way I imagined it was like, you know, how they come in the courtroom and it's like in the front chained
yeah.
like that way. So that's kind of how I imagined it. But
That's what I did
I don't
too.
know.
but those are the things that take me out. If my
Yeah.
brain can't compute,
That's
they
a
take me out.
typical way to do that, is to tell them to put their hands behind their back before they cuff them, and then they'll move their hands to the front and put them in the
Mhm.
chains.
Mm-hmm.
But then she was also, I don't know, it was just she's throwing shit, she's going batshit crazy. I'm like, how'd you have that much movement being chained up? But I mean, so those are just
Well,
little
if you're,
things that were like
I
annoying me.
think that
Yeah,
maybe
I
you
think
guys
if
are
you go like
thinking
this
like
far.
it's handcuffs like this, but
No,
typically when
I'm
they're in
thinking of like the ones that you see in the court,
prison,
like
you
that are
have
wider.
movement.
Because she was able to wash her body, so I was like, it must be
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they call them something, but I thought the same thing because she had mentioned I could have done more damage if like I wasn't cuffed, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
And with her bringing up, like, I kind of knew he was involved, but I didn't want him to be involved. I didn't want her to have killed the people either. I wanted to be some kind of crazy, weird twist because I thought it would have added more if he was never like this, like, wasn't all about her. It was like something had happened to make him get involved, you know, and actually want to help her. But then it also makes sense because he was like already obsessed with her and doing do sexual stuff with her before, like he never done that with anybody. So like all these things kind of added up. Like it wasn't horrible. Like I actually really enjoyed a lot of parts of it, but it just had all these like little things that kind of brought it down to like the 3.5 for me, basically.
see, I like that part because it reminded me of the Mindfuck series. Like it brought it was like,
Yeah.
oh, I got that again because
Mhm.
those two, like when you become like a power couple almost. The cabin was. Oh yeah. I forgot about that part. See, that's another thing. Like it's like he knows, but they see when I was thinking because I like overanalyze everything, but I was thinking so he's done so much research to get to this point.
Yeah.
Like he has to research every inmate, so he has to know everything about her. Like when
Yeah, he has the wall or whatever of her stuff and all these people researching everything.
Right.
I think it was good that they didn't like all those people quit or whatever because they didn't want to deal with her. So then it was making it more interesting because it's like it's telling more of a story because he had to do a lot of stuff that he wouldn't be able to do and things were kind of rushed. And so that kind of pushed the story along a little bit too. So I think it was really interesting, like an interesting premise. So, I mean, I enjoyed it and I want to read more from her, you know, like it just had some stuff that.
Well, see, that's why I didn't think that he was involved at that point because I was like, oh, well, he has. There was a part where the helper chick was like said something about her weight and he was like 145 and I was like, well, he has to know all these things, but he's also a little obsessed with her. I think it like he wanted to meet her. It was a little bit more of an infatuation thing. I didn't put the two together quite yet at that point. But
how frustrating for her too that so much of her trial was like botched.
Yeah, like just bullshit. People were getting
And
paid.
that
Like,
people
her
were
lawyer
paid
was
off and all of that.
One thing that confused me was the whole thing was like her with her lawyer and her saying, "Oh, I don't want to do the crazy insanity thing," and she was fighting against it. That was part of his whole plan, was making her do the insanity thing. So then I'm like, why would she fight against that whole plan? Because then he brought it up near the end that was like the plan for her, like walking around with a knife and doing this erratic behavior so that she could look like she was crazy. But then she didn't decide to do that with her lawyer. So I was like, that confused me, but I don't know.
Well, I think they were
That's
hoping
another
that she
thing.
was gonna get like off on the insanity plea. Like that was the last minute thing because she wasn't supposed to show up to the murders.
No, but I was saying like when he was there with her and literally did the knife thing. They did all that stuff so that she would look crazy. And then that was part of the plan for her to do the insanity defense. And then the lawyer was trying to do that. And then she said, no, I'm not taking a deal. I'm not doing insanity. But I might have read that wrong. I was just getting confused near the end with that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, Sabrina wasn't ready for it to end. Like, I feel like
I want more of an epilogue too, like a longer epilogue. But
we just used a little bit more.
I know. As I was reading, I was like, how are we going to finish this in 200 pages? I mean, she did a really good job. I would have. I mean, even like 20 more pages. I don't know, but
yeah,
I think it was really good. It would have.
I think she told a lot in that amount of pages. Like there was a lot of story there still.
And I think she did great for her first foray into this. Yeah.
She did really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, Jan,
this is her first book that she's put out in a while because she normally puts out a lot of books, but she was suffering from, she shared this in her newsletters, that she was suffering from some postpartum depression and just really having a hard time getting back to herself. So she had a book that was supposed to come out last July that I signed up for the ARC team, and we're just now going to be getting it at the end of this month.
Yeah.
So she took kind of a big break. I know she put out a nanny romance right before Christmas.
Yeah, I read that one.
But she normally has books out. I mean, she's got a ton of books that she's written.
I read that too. I also read that she had this story in her head for a really long time, and she was like, I just want to get it out.
Yeah. I thought that was cool, like she just had this idea in her head that, so I thought that was really cool. And that she actually, it's hard for an author to try something new,
It was.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like the same, wash, rinse, repeat. Who done it?
Yeah.
The fact that he took 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah, if he wanted to, he would.
He would.
Yeah, he changed his entire career and had 100% success rate just to get her out.
Yep. That is commitment and dedication.
Oh, it wasn't supposed to take that long, but it wouldn't have if, again, you can plan and plan and plan and plan, but things are out of your control.
Always.
How would he have known that somebody would, the jury was bought, that her lawyer was shit? And also it's but he can't help her. He can't hire a lawyer because then there would be a connection. So she had to go with what she had. But I feel like also she had a really, maybe a good following on social media is what it sounded like. She was getting people to buy her stuff. So maybe she could have afforded a better lawyer. I don't know. I was was he a public defender or was it a lawyer that?
But I don't think you can get any of that money.
So she was making money. I thought she was making money she was a little popular beforehand because.
I see what you're saying.
And so she had money there. Yeah, I know. In prison, that part.
Yeah. Because it sounds like everyone turned on her. It would have been interesting to know a little bit more about why her mom turned on her.
Yeah, I would have liked to.
Yeah, more family background. You kind of just wanted to know more, that. So she did leave us wanting to know more and be intrigued on the characters,
Obviously, there was not a good relationship there because her mom would have known the connection to the people that were murdered and that he had raped her. So, and then when has that flashback of sitting there, nobody was with her. She was by herself accusing him. And so the only mention of really her parents is that they were living above their means.
Right.
But that was it. And so something had to have happened for her mom not to be there during such a horrifying time for a teenager.
Correct.
And then for her mom to then write books about raising a murderer. There was something happened there that would have been interesting to know a little bit more about.
Sounds like her mom's a little bit of a narcissist who just wants fame and everything. But then again, when she was in prison and doing those paintings, so the warden always said he did it. So she wouldn't have gotten that money anyway, because if he was selling anything, the warden said, like, right? He said he did it. So yeah, nobody knew it was her.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny when she ate like an entire box of the strawberry ice cream bars.
You know, I was like, how many did you eat? Okay. That was really funny. That was a good one. So it wasn't bad. We liked it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, it was good.
I think I would have given it a 4 if it would have been a little bit longer. I just wanted
Mhm.
more of it.
Yeah. If it had an extended epilogue or something a little bit extra at the end, like I felt like I was like, wait, this is the end? No, I want
I think
more.
that you can. Wasn't there something at the end where you can get the epilogue?
Yeah, you could get like an extended something, right?
Yeah.
Let me see.
I never do those.
No, I'm like, I want to include it in the one that's downloaded
Mhm.
already. I don't want to sign up for, like, I don't mind getting on people's newsletters, but it's like, it should already be there. Like, sometimes I like that, like how they do extra short stories or little things. Okay, I get that. But like, the epilogue needs to be like in the book that we're getting, you know?
I mean, well, we did have an epilogue, but it was just that
Yeah.
her pending, her release is pending or
Yeah.
whatever. Let me see. Oh no, it's if you wanted to get scenes that didn't quite make it to the final cut.
Oh, yeah.
that's
That
what
was
it
it.
was.
Oh.
Sign up for the newsletter. But I was like, I am. Did I delete that and not look?
Mm.
Go through.
Yeah,
and
because
look.
I
Always
get
a
a newsletter
possibility.
too.
Yeah, definitely could happen.
I get so many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, I've been trying to thin mine out because I can't get through everything.
And all this stuff that I get in my personal email is just, for the most part, spam. And it's ridiculous. I don't like it. And I like unsubscribe from things, and then 5 more show up in their place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry. I was trying to go back to my my notes for this to see if there was anything that I missed. Sabrina said.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some time to wait, though. Like 7 years to build up some type of reputation, only to like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Dedication.
go ahead.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to read it. I was like, I want to go back and read certain parts, like whenever they first saw each other or like met, and then whenever they're with each other in the, because it's like he's so cold, and there's no. It's like she doesn't even give anything away either. It was, and they don't have any communication. So like, I don't know.
We did say she's like the best actress, you know, like she has that natural ability, you know, to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I'm wondering if, I mean, so then I have to make stuff up in my head. So maybe he sent her more books, and it was like this thought out message of, where I told you have to be an actress. Here we are. Like, it's about to happen. So keep acting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. What else?
Oh, you got the notes. What else?
What else?
I don't know. I feel like we wrapped up the last 2 buddy reads like really quickly.
Very quickly.
It was short. I mean,
Yeah.
to give us, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, all my notes were, I mean, they're both psychopaths.
Yeah.
I kind of figured out the anagrams a little bit. I got the first one right, and then I knew like the second one had pretty in it, obviously. It's a weird name, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Pretty.
People have unique last names though in real life. So
Oh, it's true.
It would be so good to be because she's so sensationalized. You know how they did with all these like type of killers, and so you know that name would be like so good for podcasts, like the chick that ran the podcast, or like that name would be really catchy for like making it a sensational news story and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when they met in the prison for the first time, I was still trying to determine if I felt like she was crazy or not, because
Mhm.
like just
Right.
because she's telling us she's innocent doesn't mean that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was still kind of fixated on that. And so the fact that she's in this prison and then this like good looking doctor is wanting to take her case, like I didn't really think too much of it because I
Mhm.
already didn't really trust her mentally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was giving her the benefit of the doubt, but again, like you did some weird things, so
Mhm.
I need a little bit more.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just really glad that she wasn't the one who did it, because I
I
think
know.
that would have been very disappointing.
I
Yeah.
think I would have been disappointed too. I think you're right. Jan asked if there's a good romantic suspense that any of us have read. I'm like thinking off the top of my head.
I just read Someone Knows by Vi Keeland. It just came out like a
Yeah,
week
it did. How was it?
or a month ago, maybe. I really liked it.
Did you?
I
I
loved
love
the
her book.
unraveling that she wrote. Have you guys read
Mhm.
The Unraveling?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I
it
read.
was
I
really
don't
good.
think I've read a lot of her suspense books, but I love her reading, like her Infinite
Yeah.
Sword. Yeah.
The Unraveling was really good, and then Someone Knows was really good too. She is very good about making you think that everything is like done, and you're like, okay, this is a really good read, and then bam.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
does
Are
like
Which
those
I
really
love
romantic
that.
too.
the unraveling though? Was that romance, a romantic suspense, or was it just suspense?
It's marketed as, I think, a romantic thriller.
Mm.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
about you?
Karina Halley has a couple I've read recently. The Grave Matter, which is a romantic thriller and suspense. It's all wrapped up in there. And Mandy, what did I just have you read? Death Valley.
Death Valley.
100% Death Valley.
By who?
Death
Like
Valley was really good.
Karina Halley. That is my
Oh.
top read so far this year.
Really?
I loved
really?
it.
Your top read?
Yep, it is number one right now. Nothing's knocked it out of there. It's been a few months. It's one I couldn't read at night because I'd scare the shiznit out of myself every time I
really?
read it. Mm-hmm.
Is
I'm
that
also
the
a
one you
chicken.
said is like mixed with like kind of like the White Walkers or
Yes,
whatever?
it is
That one?
like she describes it as Yellowstone with White Walkers because it is a dark cowboy.
Yeah.
That sounds
And
amazing.
because it involves the Donner Party and Donner Pass, and like it references them in history, and it's all there. It's all there.
Yeah, it's not really like a psychological thriller.
It's suspense.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
The other one is though, Grave Matter is supposed to be a thriller.
I'm adding it right now.
An audio just came out for Grave Matter.
Have you read anything, Amber?
I'm like, a lot of my stuff has like kind of suspense elements in it. It's not super romantic thriller or suspense stuff that I've read. So I'm like trying to think of one that I've read recently.
Unravel and Unhinged by Calla Reed are really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Those are really good.
They're like a psychological romantic thriller.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one where you really don't know if you can believe your heroine at all.
Okay, see, I might
Takes place in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the more like, I guess those are probably a little bit more hardcore, but a little easier. I've read what is it called? Reynolds Protective by Dr. Rebecca Sharp. So it's like a Criminal Minds. They're kind of like the stars, the male characters are based very loosely on some of the Criminal Minds characters. And one of them, the last one being Reed, but it's like if you want them to have
that makes sense now, because when we saw her we see her all the time, but when we saw her in Ohio, she had a life-size Spencer Reed. Like, dude.
I haven't gotten to that one yet. That's the last one, and I'm so excited to
And
read that
I
one.
said, my youngest, both of my daughters love Criminal Minds, but my youngest has been in love with that Spencer Reed guy for years. And so I sent her a picture, and she's like, steal it, get it from her, buy it. I don't care how much it costs. I'm like, I'm not going to go steal her dude. Like, no, where are you going to put that?
I'm obsessed with Criminal Minds, and I love Spencer, and I think that he's dirty. Like, he never got his happily ever after. So I'm really excited to read that, but it's really good. So it's called the Reynolds Protective Agency or something like that.
So did you read Archer? in that series?
Well, yeah. So I read the first two. As soon as I finish this trilogy that I'm on, I'm gonna read the third book, which is I believe is Hunter, and then Gunner is Hunter is like a Morgan character, and then Gunner is like your Reed character. So I read Archer. Yeah, that was the
Did you
first.
like Archer?
So Archer, I liked the heroine. I thought like just did some really dumb stuff being in the world that she was in, and so I was like, well, yeah, you're gonna get caught. Like, come on, that's the dumbest thing that you could have done. I liked the second one more than I liked the first one, but it was also you have to think about like your first book in the series is like setting you up for additional because he's like the oldest brother. He kind of takes care of them. But I did like him. I liked his character for sure, but I definitely liked the second book better.
I got kind of bored in the book when I was reading it.
I got pissed off at the heroine. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, but I was like, I'm curious because there was a lot of things that they talked about that you understood were in a different interconnected series. Like there was something that happened to their mom, which I didn't read that series, but I talked about this before. Like I really liked the second book. I liked there was more going on. I liked the heroine in that one too. So I think I got just irritated with the first person, but yeah, she does.
She does it good.
She does.
I like A.L. Jackson's newer series too. I know it's not super suspense, but she does have romantic suspense in it. You know, it's like the what is it called? Moonlit Ridge, because it did have like they're kind of like a secret society type of like used to be an MC, and then they're going after men that they help rescue women that get abused and all that kind of stuff. And it did have like a twist at the end of like the first one, so it's not super suspense like. So it's but I did really like that one because usually I'm like seeing where I can guess what's happening, and I didn't, and so I really liked that. And then I also liked the Citrus Cove series by Cleo Evans, but that's like very erotic romance, but like also romantic suspense. But again, like I haven't really read any heavy suspense or heavy like thriller lately that I can even think of.
Sabrina, I love Pen Pal and Perfect Strangers too. And when we met JT Geisinger, I told her how much I loved both of those books. And she's like, oh, good. She's like, I get so much hate on those books.
She does. Yeah, she said that.
Does
those
she
are
really?
two I still need to
That's what she
read. I
told
need to
me.
read those.
They're so
I know
good.
people were so mad about Pen Pal, like, but
Pen
then
Pal was
some people
amazing.
really loved it. But so
we read it before, like right when it first was released. It released, and I was camping that week. Like I took it with me, and then I drove into town, told Mandy to read it because it was just so good. But then all the hype came out, and people were like, "I can't believe how this ended." And I'm like, it was still an AGA. Just wasn't what you were expecting.
It's an unconventional HEA, right?
Yes, and it was still freaking good. Yeah.
But I get tired of reading the same thing over and over again. So maybe if I was like, I don't read hardly ever and I pick up this book, maybe I would be disappointed. I still think I would love it because I like stuff like that. But I don't know. I want to have a book that makes me feel different than other books do. Like I get tired of the same thing over and over again.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm kind of burnt out on hockey. Like
100%. That's why I'm all about the Dark Cowboy right now. Give me Dark Cowboy.
Yeah, Dark Cowboy.
Not too long ago, and I had no idea it was hockey, and I was like, dude, what?
I'm over the hockey. There has been so much hockey. I mean, except for like CR Jane doing like her dark hockey. Like, I'll take that.
Dude, I was gonna say unless it's CRJ because I'll take.
I know. I just
any day.
Just it's just too much.
From Lincoln Daniels.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I just got I pre-ordered Marry Me. And if you pre-order it, she's doing a pre-order thing right now. And if you screenshot it to her, she will send you an exclusive that is going to be like text messages between the guys, which I love their texting. I love their so I'm very excited to get that when the book comes out.
I still need to get back to that series. I think I've only read 2 of them.
What are you doing?
Like I don't. I always am like in between a million series, and I keep needing to go back to that. So I definitely need to
For
check.
once, I can say get on something. Normally, you guys are like, "What are you like? Read this." Now I like get on it.
So, man,
To
did you
answer your
pre-order?
question, Jen, about pre-order, you can just go to our website and it takes you to all the different places you can pre-order it and tells you how to do the thing.
Okay.
But did you pre-order it for our Vegas event?
No,
No.
I pre-ordered it, I think, just from Amazon because I wanted to get the thing.
Yeah. I'm the same. It's a hit or miss for me, but I liked
Oh, yeah, I'm
Temple,
the same.
but I didn't know. I don't want to spoil anything if anybody hasn't read it, but I didn't. I'm not a big person that reads anymore. What that typically is, I don't know. Does she even market as that kind of genre? I don't know. But the twist is.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I didn't know I was reading that type of book. But I mean, I love the way that she had me second guessing everything. So
Yeah.
that's one thing she does really well.
Oops.
The Wrong Heart by Jennifer Hartman is another really good.
That is one I haven't read. I just
twisty-ish book.
I just bought it.
I've been wanting to read that for so long. I need to get to that one because.
Oh, Sabrina, you need to
But
read.
I also just love Jennifer Hartman. So
If you do not need that, read Past the Broken Bridges if you want to cry.
B. Celeste, she is I mean, like, she rips your heart out.
Yeah.
She's just like, I'm gonna tell a story. I don't care if it's an HEA or not. Like, I'm just telling a story. Yeah. I'm going to make you cry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have it. I have it actually right here. My computer's propped up on it.
Wow.
Do you have the new copy or the old copy?
I have the new copy.
Me too.
I wanted the old one.
Me too.
I have the old one.
I have the old Still Beating. That is my favorite of all.
I have that too because Jessica gave it to me because she's such a good person.
Yeah, you are a good person because that's the best cover. I want that tattoo. It's just like, I was like, this is the first book that I've ever read that I wanted to immediately go out and get a tattoo of the book because it meant that much. There was somebody, I don't know if I can say it, but there was somebody that I think that she was on YouTube, like BookTube, and she made a few comments about that book that I still was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But I can't anymore. Very cryptic, but never mind.
Okay.
I realized as I was talking, like, I probably can't go any further. So
the brain just halted.
Yep. Oh, she did read it.
Okay.
One that I don't think has an HEA that like I still want to try is that I can't remember what it, but it's taboo, like siblings being together.
Oh, Maddie, is that Forbidden? Maddie, you read that one.
Forbidden, right? Is that it?
Forbidden?
Oh,
because I don't know if it has an unconventional HEA or if it's not an HEA, so I was like nervous to read it, but like I really want to read that one.
Yeah, I did hear that it has a weird ending, that people were not happy about it, but I was like, are you, I mean, this is not PC Andrews. I don't
know.
That
one, Under Her Scars or Under Your Scars or whatever is not supposed to have an HEA either. I actually own the book and I was like, nope, I don't feel the need to have my heart ripped out. Sorry, I need an HEA of some kind. I don't need a conventional HEA. I just need an HEA of some kind.
Like, you want to have,
like, I like Hale because they're together, you know? Like,
I need to know that they're together. I don't care if they're together in heaven. I need them together. So, yeah.
Sabrina Still Beating is still, it's one of my favorite books ever.
Yeah,
I love it.
Definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can't really talk about it without giving.
Yeah.
It's a sad book though.
Yeah, I heard it's like very heartbreaking. So I'm like, ooh, do I want to go through all that heartbreak to not have a happy, like if it's not a happy ending at the end? I don't know. So it's something I've just kept putting off, you know?
It's probably something that would probably give you like a book slump. Either that or I have to immediately go like immerse myself in just rom-coms or happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go to Ice Planet
Lighthearted
Barbarians
happy,
after
here you
that.
come.
I
love
always go to Ice Planet Barbarians after that.
Yeah. That's like when I read a really dark or like I'm really like I'm just in a slump. I'm like, Ice Planet Barbarians, it's feel good. It's cute.
It'll work. Yeah. I know. Well, we just
quick
did our
one.
first and favorite. I don't know if you guys saw. We did our first and favorites. Right. And man, we were talking about how many books we read. We got to Ruby Nixon, and Mandy's like, "So how many Ruby Nixon books?" And I was like, 87.
Oh my.
Yeah, I didn't
How do you
realize
pick a favorite out of that many? Like
it's hard to pick a favorite. I mean, like I went with the original because the original is where it all started. But I've also read like all of her dragons and her other fantasy series, and like you got to go with the original.
Her orc one,
That's
like I like that.
I mean, for one, that's kudos. That's like James.
That's
Patrick
insane
level.
Yeah, and that's not including the rereads because I reread all the time.
Yeah,
those are my palate cleansers.
God.
Oh, so there's a good question. Who's the author you've read the most of?
That is a really good question. We would have to like pull up Goodreads. I wish
Goodreads would do it by. I tried to do it by author. It does if you go into your. It will. You have to go into your reads, books you've read,
or whatever.
Yeah. And then it will do it by author, but it doesn't add it up for you. Yeah. You have to do math.
I mean, I can do math.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to, but it's not something that we could do quick.
And then it does the author in alphabetical order, not by you've read the most of this author, then this author, then this author.
Yeah, so you have to really wade through it.
Yeah.
Well, and I've only been really logging the books for like that I read for like the last couple years, like 4 years, 3 years. So a lot of books that like, that I've read from them won't even be on there really. I don't know. God,
Mine
that's
is Lisa Suzanne, but part of that is that a lot of her books are the same couple, and it's 5 books that you read.
Yeah.
And so she's my most read, but that's partly because of that. But those books are still like, even the 5 are still like 2 to 3, not quite 300, but around the 200 to 250-ish range, usually.
Yeah.
I think like one of my most is like Raina Kent, because I literally read her entire backlist and vlogged all those books. So like I've read every Raina Kent. But I also I haven't finished her backlist, but Lisa Kleypas, like I've read so many of her books. So because I used to read a lot of historical. So that was kind of like the biggest one, but it's kind of hard to think of like the most,
I even know because we just did it. Well, the 2 videos that we did it over, and I still, other than knowing that Ruby is my number 1, I still can't tell you who my number 2 was.
Sabrina, is that by Grace McGinty? 8 Seconds to Fly.
Yeah. I have a whole box of special editions of 8 Seconds to Fly that are Grace's that she mailed to us that I have to take, that I'll be taking to her in Canada for our BB4E, but. I told her the box showed up. It's not that big of a box. It's and I was like, would I be in trouble if they just all went onto my bookshelf and it's all the same book? And she's like, no, take a picture, send it to me. But I need those.
You should take them out, take a picture.
I know. I need to be like, look at what I got.
Sorry, they found a new home.
Yeah, I love 8 Seconds to Fly. It is one of my. I mean, like I love everything Grace has ever done. Everything I've read by Grace, I've loved. But it is one of my top favorites. And we had talked about it for Cover to Cover when we had our special, Summer of Love box that doesn't come out till August. But that was our, we did Grace. We did 2 of Grace's. And I wanted to do 8 Seconds to Fly, but I knew that Grace was already doing a signing edition for 8 Seconds to Fly. So then we chose my other 2 favorites. So just didn't want to have a special edition when she was doing a special edition.
Oh, for most reads.
For most reads.
I would say probably, I got to think of like somebody in a series. So maybe Neva Altai. All those.
Yeah.
Cora Riley.
Yeah, I read
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read a lot of Jagger Cole, but I was kind of like giving up on him now because I got so mad at the last book because I've requested the arc for like the last 2 years. I've gotten constant arcs and he comes out with a book every couple months. So I was like, oh, I need to take a break because I was getting like frustrated. when you read them back to back and it's the same thing, or like CNC and like 4 books in the same series. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I got to take a break.
Yeah. Man, Sabrina, if I could start all over again, because I've read everything of Pam's. If I could start all over again, I shouldn't say that. Her Dead of Eve, I haven't read the last 2, but that's because somebody spoiled it for me and I know what happens. So I don't want to read the first one.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. But if I could, I would, I wish I could just, she's one of those authors that, like, it'd be great to start all over again and like forget and just read them all.
I know.
Yeah, I'm trying to read more of her stuff this year. That was one of my goals. So I was like, I read the Tangled Lies series, which was like the love triangle, which I was like, I don't really like love triangles, but Pam Godwin, she always figures out. I don't know. I don't think Mandy liked it, but I like who she ends up with.
Mandy hates
So,
love triangles.
I hate
No.
triangles.
but like, I also want to finish the Cowboy series. I only read the first book. I want to finish the Deliver series. So those are like my goals this year to like really get into her backlist.
I had read the Deliver series up until the very last book. And then I saw that she had said, you need to go read that
Tangled
Love Triangle
Lies
trilogy
first.
and then come back. So I knew what happened. I already knew. I knew going into it because I had read enough of that book, of the Deliver series, to know who was who and where was where. And it wasn't a surprise to me.
Well, that's why, like, I had that book that happens, in the Deliver on my TBR, and then I saw somebody's review being like, you need to read Tangled Lies before you get to this book, and so I was like, oh shoot, I need to change around like my whole thing, so I did that first, so then I need to finally get to his book now in like the Deliver series.
I hate love triangles.
Yeah, she does.
I
know I'm trying to read some this upcoming month because somebody asked for me to do a love triangle video, and I'm like, I have like barely any in like a list. So
Yep.
And most of them are from the same series, or it's a trilogy, or it's a duet. I don't know.
Jan, is there any? Mandy has. There's some, now that you got me on the spot, I can't think of who they are.
There's quite a few authors that I've read all their books. Carrie Ann Cole.
I just have one of Carrie Ann.
Hers.
I need 2.
I have a list going for a while. Karen Crompton, I've read all hers.
I've read all except for her YA because I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
Good. I'm trying to see if I still have my list going.
I think the only 100% I have is Rena Kent, basically.
Really? Rena Kent. So I have one that doesn't have a very big backlist. It's a newer author. I found her last year, and then I was like, I have to read everything that she's read. It's P.S. Black. Amazing. Amazing. If you like romance.
I love MM. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Will rip your heart out. So I arced for her first book in this new series that she's doing. The third one is coming out, I think, like at the beginning of next year. And then I was like, well, I have to read everything from her. And then I arced to her Christmas book. And then she had a duet that I went back and read. And I'm like such an idiot, though. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I was like halfway or like 3/4 through that the first book of that duet when I realized that one of the characters was in the book that introduced me to her. And I was like, oh, now this all makes sense because there was like a tragedy. And I'm reading the tragedy. What is going on? Yeah, it was really good, though. I mean, a fantastic author. I'm like, she ripped my heart out.
Yeah.
Like there's some authors. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think Bryn Ford. I think I've read all of Bryn Ford's books. Now that I'm thinking off the top of my head. Like,
what about you, Jan?
Yeah, Jan.
What did you read?
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah.
So those are my 3: Karen Crompton, Carrie Ann Cole, and Elizabeth O'Rourke, that have more than like.
Oh, Elizabeth O'Rourke. Yeah. Good one.
The only other one I could think of that I read all with Kathleen.
I want to finish.
Which one?
I have a whole list of authors I want to finish their backlist. Jennifer Hartman's one. Corinne Michaels, Emma Scott.
Corinne Michaels has a lot, though.
She does.
Now. Yeah. Oh, and then L.M. Halloran. I want to finish hers.
Does she have a big backlist?
Laura, yeah.
Oh, I've read all of BJ's books except for one. So here's the deal. We start this and I'm like, there's one book. So I read all of BJ Alpha's except for this Reckless one that's Born Reckless. But because I don't want to not have a book that I could pick up by her. And so I always leave like one hanging out there instead of finishing
I
up
did
the
that for the
breakfast.
longest time.
Mhm.
And then I caved and finished Carrie Ann Cole's, and now I
Yeah.
sit here almost 2
Waiting.
years in.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was so good. Like, why would you want to hold and not? You know what I mean? Like,
I've been waiting for Carrie Ann's because I there's audio coming next month.
You have. Oh my God, you haven't read Return
for the Lovely Return, or
Yep, it's coming in August. So all this. I mean, I know.
You have one other Carrie Ann Cole book you haven't read that you said you just didn't want to read.
Yeah, that was the one of those in her Storm series.
Lucas.
Storm. Didn't want to read it. It was before I understood and really started to appreciate the reverse age gap. So I probably could go back now and read that and be okay with it.
Oh, I bet you could, because you're completely different now. Yeah.
It's a good one. It doesn't. It's not like taboo-y or like. It's
I liked that one actually. Like I really liked that. I just remember
one. At the time when I was reading those and I was going in order, I was like, it's not my thing. But now I'm totally.
R.L. Stein. Like, yeah.
That's a huge list.
Those are my fans.
That's a lot.
I loved those books back in the day.
Yeah.
I am seeing 4 of L.M. Halloran's books on my shelf that I have not read yet.
That are on your shelf currently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have a lot of authors I want to read all their stuff, but then I don't want it like to catch up on it. Like, so I want to read, you know, like especially historical romance. So like, you know, because a lot of them some aren't gonna they're like, we're not doing historical romance because it's not getting the love, or you know. So it's like I'm like, I don't want it to be over yet. But I think I've read all of Kathleen E. Woodowiss's, because she's like OG. She's passed away. It was like from the 1980s type of historical romance.
Those were way back then.
Yeah, like she was like one of the first historical romance. So like when I was a kid, I was reading all her stuff. So
yeah. I mean, like I said, I know Pam I have, except for those 2, because I really, if they're been spoiled, I'm not going to read them.
Going back to like the most authors that you read, that reminded me, when I was younger, I read a good chunk of the B.C. Andrews books, like all generations, and then like the spin-off generations. Her daughter took over and started writing for her. I read so many of those books, but that was years ago.
I, as a child, read all of Anne M. Martin's books, and I think I owned every single one, like through the Babysitter Club.
I, as a child, read all of the Little Critter books because that's we want to keep going. Love the Little Critter books. Even bought them for my kids.
We're going back to that.
Judy Bloom.
We got the Babysitter, and I had all those box sets.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we could go back.
We could go back. Berenstain Bears, you know.
Oh my God. I still have those. I buy those for my daughter.
Yeah. There was. I'll tell you about one. There's one where it's the author doesn't write anymore, and it's a children's book, and the kids all have the same last name as us. So, but I will tell you that after we get done. So, because you can't. She doesn't write anymore. So. Sabrina, that was me. I mean, as a child, my grandparents would read to us, and I had like the Little Critter, like those kinds of books. I remember having to finish a book for my senior year for our senior report, and it was the first book I ever finished. Normally, I would watch the movie if we had to.
Clip notes.
And I didn't start reading until I started going through my mastectomy in 2020, or a little before that was my hysterectomy. In 2020.
He was like, up until like last year, he was like, kudos to him that I've never read a book that I've never finished a book that I didn't have to read for school. And then I made him read, and I let him listen to it, obviously, because I was like, I know you're not going to read it, but listen to it. I made him read Praise by Sarah Kate.
Oh.
He was like, I obviously wouldn't have picked it up, but he was like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. My husband was always a reader, but now that I'm a reader, he doesn't read anymore. And it drives me nuts. I don't understand that. So we were driving to Seattle and I had to do a re-listen of the 9 Minutes trilogy for reasons. And I made him listen to it with me and we got almost all the way through the first book and he's like, "Are we done yet?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, like my divorce court."
Yeah.
I
Are
read
we
a
done
lot
yet?
in high
So we can
school, but
finish
I
the next one
never
or start the next one?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
man.
never read any of the books that like everyone talks about being forced to read in high school.
Me either. What kind of school did I go to? Am I?
We didn't have ones that were forced. I mean, I think it was The Last of the Mohicans and The Story of the Andes Mountains. I think I chose those. I chose Alive and I chose and The Color Purple. I chose to read those, but we had to have a book. And I was like, I love all those movies, so I'll read the book. I'll talk about it that way.
Yeah, but
I
you know,
read
like
these-
when you're watching a movie or something or a TV show, and they all these books that they have to
Yeah,
read.
we didn't have those.
I never had any of those. I
No.
did
Me either.
third, no, is
No.
it 6th grade? They made us read A Wrinkle in Time, which I mean was an amazing book.
I just remember our English teacher making us watch Soylent Green. That
Not
we did have to read 1984. I hated it, and
never had
I
to read
think I
that.
just kind of BS'd my way through that one, like I did with all of my book reports.
I know.
Which I
You guys didn't have
aced,
to
by
read
the
like
way.
Charles Dickens and do all like
Mm-mm.
that. Oh, I
never
did.
had to read
Like
any
Catcher
of
in the
A
that.
Tale
Rye.
of Two Cities, like
I
Animal,
never
whatever
had to read
farm,
that.
like all those. Yeah, of
No.
Mice and Men.
Nope.
Like I had to read
No.
all those. Like
Oh no, we nothing like that. Nope.
I tried
What?
Of Mice and Men a couple of times, and I'm like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, did you guys read Shakespeare or have to do any of that stuff too
I
in school?
personally loved Shakespeare. I chose to read Shakespeare, but there was a year that I requested for Christmas, like the bind up of all of the Shakespeare's plays. But that was it was in the 90s, and they just had the whole Claire Danes, Leonardo DiCaprio, Romeo and Juliet, and that threw me into that. It wasn't because we had to.
That soundtrack was on repeat.
That soundtrack I lived
Yeah.
for.
I had
Wore
the
that
CD,
cassette
you know?
tape out.
I had the CD and like.
No CDs. We didn't have CDs. It was cassette tape.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have like 2.5
Oh,
minutes. Can we talk about what?
Oh, yeah.
Next.
Okay. Okay, so the next book that we're going to read, it's going to be on my channel on the 31st of August, probably same time. And then it's going to be Acts Backwards by Daphne Elliott. Have you guys read any of that series at all?
No.
I've just read a couple, so I think they're kind of cute. They're like the lumberjack type of series. They got those like kind of cutesy
She
covers.
has the Western cowboy ones too, right?
Yeah, I think
Doesn't
so.
she?
Yeah.
I've only read one of her books. She wrote in the Mom-Com series.
Mm.
So I read that book
Yeah.
of hers.
Okay.
But we'll give you guys a lot more time this time to get to the book or whatever. So
Yeah, it's out there. It's a single dad. That's all.
Mhm.
Single dad lumberjack. Sign me up.
Oh, yeah, I'm just dad.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, see, there we go. Good.
Oh, good. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yay.
read the previous two books and I really enjoyed it. Like I hadn't read her before, so I didn't read the first book though. Whoops.
So we're okay though, not having read the first two?
No, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, you're okay. I don't think you need to read it at all. Like
Okay.
there is some drama with like their father, like these brothers' fathers, but it brings it up in the story, like criminal stuff, happening. But I didn't read the first book and I didn't have any issues reading the second and third. So
Okay.
Good
Well,
to know.
maybe Amber is the one to make Jan hit a 4.
I hope so.
Whoa.
I'll take a 3. Like I'll take a 3, 3.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, one of these days, Jan.
We'll get you. We're gonna get you good.
It's our goal.
Any closing remarks? I've been watching a lot of legal dramas.
Closing remarks. Oh.
None for me.
Well, when you hit the end live, say adjourned.
Say
Okay.
adjourned.
We are now adjourned. We'll see you next month.
Okay, bye.